Some people don't hate you because you did something wrong. They hate you because you finally stopped letting them disrespect you. Hello, fellow warriors. Welcome or welcome back to the Goddess of War. In this video, we're getting into something real. Why people start hating you out of nowhere. And here's the thing, there's always a moment when it happens. When you start taking up space. And what if I told you that moment is actually a good sign, a sign you're doing something right? But before we get into it, let's make one thing clear. Not everyone who dislikes you is a hater. Sometimes people don't like us because we have made a mistake, even if we didn't mean to. We've all had our moments of insecurity, defensiveness, maybe even being a bit selfish. So if you're watching this and you have never reflected on your own behavior, pause this video. Go look in the mirror first, because this video is not an excuse. It's not about blaming others. It's for the women who have already gone through that accountability process and still find themselves being disliked. So, the first reason people dislike you, it's because in some way you are better than them. Let me share a personal story. Back when I was super underweight, like really skinny, no one had a problem with me. No weird energy, no passive comments, nothing. People were totally cool with me. But when I started lifting heavy around 4 or 5 months in, that's when I started noticing something weird. Even people close to me, like family and friends, began throwing little jabs. They told me things like, "Careful not to get bulky," or "Your back's starting to look like a man's." And the thing is, I wasn't even far into the process. It hadn't even been a full year. I just started seeing a little shape in my upper body, where before there was absolutely nothing. And for the first time in my life, I was actually building curves. That's when I realized something very important. Going from weak to strong really opens your eyes to the jealousy and insecurity of others. When you're not taking care of yourself, you don't trigger anyone. You can enter a room full of people without a second thought because no one sees you as a threat. But the moment you start showing up as your best self, physically and mentally, you start wondering, who am I going to make uncomfortable today? And it's not just about how you look. It's about literally anything where you're doing better. Whether it's your job, your finances, your hobbies, or just the way you carry yourself. Because the truth is, when you start outshining people, some of them just can't handle it. And that's exactly the vibe you're going to see right now.
You want me to dance? I'll show you how I dance.
I need you, I need you. You have to be in the video. You have to be in the video.
See how she's killing it on the dance floor, but every woman around is giving those side eyes and fake smiles. That's the energy I'm talking about. These women don't hate her because she dances well. They hate her because she's free, and they're not. But jealousy isn't the whole story. Sometimes, the real reason people dislike you is way more personal than you think. So reason number 2, they dislike you. It's because they actually dislike themselves. Here's the thing you really need to get. When someone has their own stuff going on, they honestly don't have the time or energy to check what others are doing because they are too busy living to obsess over someone else's life. But then there are those people who are bored out of their minds with their own lives. They scroll through your page, watch everything you do, and judge you. When their life feels empty, it's way easier for them to attack yours than to actually fix their own. Let me share a personal experience. When I told someone close to me that I wanted to build a community online and create content, I could immediately feel his doubt. This person kind of laughed and said stuff like,
"It's oversaturated."
Or,
"Look at me, I've had a profile for years and nothing happened."
like their own lack of commitment meant I couldn't make it either. And that's the thing. People love to project their own limits onto you. They don't believe in themselves, so they try to make sure you don't believe in yourself either. They feel ugly? They'll tell you you're not that pretty. They feel stuck? They'll laugh at you for trying to change your life when you take your first baby steps. Honestly, we could all think of 1,000 examples like this. This behavior is literally everywhere, and most of the time, it's just projection. If you've ever dealt with something like that, drop your story in the comments so our tribe can recognize it and support each other when it happens. But listen, there's another reason people dislike you, and this one might actually surprise you. It's because you are doing something different. A lot of people use how they feel about you to stop you from where you're going. And the sad part is that sometimes it actually works. You said you want to make music, and someone said, Yeah, it's not that good. You started making content and people called you cringe. You said you want to build a business and people called you delusional. But listen, it's not you. It's the fact that you moved, and your motion reminded them they're still in the same place. But you know what? You don't need to be liked. You need to be free. Free enough to say, you don't like me? Cool. You don't like my content? Great. Hit not interested, scroll, walk away. But you are not stopping me. Because I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing this for the thousands who do get it. After the last 2 viral videos we posted, we got so much hate. Honestly, I never expected that for such a new channel. But at the same time, we received incredible love. And that's when you realize you can't be a chameleon, making content just to please the majority or avoid hate. Yeah, sometimes I reply to some hate comments, just to put certain people in their place or to clear the air. But that doesn't mean I care about their opinions. If I let these comments stop me, this channel wouldn't even exist now. I would have been scared off after the first hit. But luckily, we've received so much love that it outweighs all that. We're here for the warriors who truly get us. So you have to realize that you are not everyone's cup of tea. You can't be. You won't be. And honestly, you shouldn't be. And that's totally fine. It's okay if they don't like you. Seriously. It's okay. When you say, why doesn't Samantha or Maria like me? What did I do wrong? That only shows you care too much. Imagine a creator stopped uploading just because some random haters left nasty comments. Imagine a musician stopped recording because someone didn't like his music. No, we don't stop. We evolve, but we don't stop. So listen to this and let it sink in. You've got to give people permission to not like you. Say it. It's okay if they don't get it. It's okay if they don't clap. It's okay if they walk away. Because the moment you give them that permission, that's when you'll see the disappointment in their face. Because they just realize that they have no power over you. And no, that doesn't mean you shouldn't care about anyone. There's always going to be a small group of people whose opinion really matters. I'm talking about the ones who actually show up, who speak with love and honesty, not ego or jealousy. If you're lucky enough to find those real friends in your life, consider yourself blessed. Hold on to them tight because they're rare and priceless. But beyond that, don't waste your time chasing approval. You're here to live your life, create your own stuff, and keep pushing forward. Don't stop because a few people don't clap, even if these people are within your own family. But guess what? There's one more thing that actually makes people hate you even more. Number 4, you set boundaries now. Let's be real. People usually get offended when you set boundaries with them because they don't have healthy boundaries themselves. I got to tell you about some old friends I had. Thankfully, they're not in my life anymore. They were the kind of people who made these so-called jokes that weren't actually funny. Like, they'd tease me about my nose or my outfit, especially on days when I was trying to look elegant and feel good about myself. And when I finally told them it bothered me, instead of saying, oh, we didn't realize, they'd hit me with the classic, you're too sensitive, or you're not chill enough. Why? Because they didn't have that boundary for themselves. They thought that just because they made fun of themselves, it gave them a free pass to make fun of me too. But that's not how it works. So you got to understand, setting boundaries will make some people mad. But don't let that stop you. Honestly, if someone gets mad at you just because you said, hey, that's not okay with me, that's their problem, not yours. Keeping your boundaries is actually a good thing, even for them, because it helps them learn what their family didn't teach them, to respect other people. You just showing up and saying, hey, this doesn't work for me, might be the first time someone ever hears that in their life. And listen, just because someone's angry doesn't mean you have to do anything about it. People who don't have boundaries usually react right away to someone else's anger. They try to fix it, they apologize, or they go back into people-pleasing mode. But you don't have to do that. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is nothing. Let them be mad, let them sit in it, and you stay grounded. I'd actually love to talk more about boundaries and how to realistically set them, because I'm still figuring it out myself. So if that's something you'd be into, just type, I'm interested in the comments, and we'll probably discuss that next. Those are the main reasons people dislike you. But here's something I didn't tell you earlier. If you keep living for other people's approval and don't set your boundaries, you're going to end up making choices that aren't even yours. And believe me, the pain of regret is real. So if you don't want to fall into the same trap many women do, click on this video. It's time to unleash your inner confident goddess. See you there, warrior.